excellent brand of water. Yes, I can't read that. My eyes don't go that far. Yes, clap! Clap, you minions. But don't look at me when you're clapping. I'll destroy you.
Blue velvet.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. So, shut up. So where are we in this pandemic? It's hard to say. Some people are acting like adults, others are acting like children, and still others are treating children like adults. And I'm not even talking about CNN producers. But first to the pandemic news that's affecting our nation's political elites. In Washington, D.C., our state capital, Kat, strip clubs have allegedly been warned about their dancers not wearing masks. In a hard-hitting investigative report, the Daily Caller finds that multiple strip clubs have violated the mayor's order on masks. This includes apparently the strippers who are supposed to cover their noses and mouths, even if their butts aren't. Now, this is a personal point. I would not mind the rule in the daytime, you know, when the clubs aren't exactly fielding the first string.
Day shift.
Yeah. But really, how can you enjoy a good lap dancer if you can't understand the stripper's story about how she's just doing this temporarily to put herself through med school? And what kind of mask do you wear when stripping? I had to ask Stuart Varney. And no, they do not make an N95 in latex. God knows I've looked all over Pete Hegseth's office. But the strippers, I bet they're not pleased. We go to one for comment. Yeah, Bear Strip Club. I can dream, Tyrus. On the other coast, it's worse. The LA Unified School District said it's banning students from wearing cloth masks. They must now wear well-fitted non-cloth masks with a nose wire at all times, including outdoors. Well, at least that'll prepare them for a future in stripping or smash and grab, which are both very popular vocations in LA right now. But what are you supposed to do? I guess it's time for...
Greg Gutfeld's desperate rant to end this book.
Here's one thing we didn't expect, how authoritarianism was unleashed in businesses by our government. The government made the regulations which put it on waitresses and hostesses and mattress salesmen to force you to comply. And then it was up to the cops to arrest you if you didn't. So while the government looks benign, it's your neighbors who became the enforcers. What better way to unify a nation's people than force them into the roles of cops and robbers? You couldn't divide people any more efficiently with a table saw. And I've tried. But you know what? A lot of people liked it. People became okay with incremental authoritarianism, like the frog in that slow boiling water, an experiment I'm sure Fauci invented, this sick bastard. They enjoyed the moment without knowing how it all will end, like giving Jesse Waters his own show. It gave obnoxious people power. See, authoritarianism doesn't just show up one day screaming, "Hey, everyone, I'm an authoritarian." It comes gradually, step by step, like an undetected malignant tumor. It just grows. And who knew that entertainers and journalists, usually considered skeptics of power, would happily embrace becoming the man?
This is what I call face mask freakouts. You know, I've made it clear I can't stand seeing people walking around without a mask.
This is what we're doing to protect our families. And you don't have to do it, but stay away from everybody. How dare you be so flippant, man?
How dare you be so flippant?
It's also a question of manners, good manners.
No. It's actually
If you scare people by not wearing a mask,
No,
it's
you
bad
scare
manners.
And so the rebels have become the establishment, choosing fear over risk management. But risk management is not just brave, it's sensible. The world is not your house that you can make childproof. And you can't leave it to bozos who see risk only being acceptable at zero. That destroys society. You'd have to lock yourself in the basement to survive. And like I said to Joe DeVito's robot girlfriend, that's no life. But it's hard to explain this to people in love with their own authority. You can't wrestle fear away from them. Like a vaping pen to cat, it's too important to them. The people in charge right now aren't risk managers, they're ass protectors trying to keep themselves from being fired, sued, or even arrested. And they deserve little respect given they never clearly gave us the whole story. Think about it. They've been applying the same risk profile from one person to the next without any clarity. A 10-year-old skateboarder somehow has the same risk profile as a 65-year-old obese smoker. So they both must mask up and outside. It's like hiring a tax accountant for your 6-year-old who ran a lemonade stand, because it's April and you just never know. Fact is, the government isn't crazy about telling you about your lower risk profile because then you won't adhere to their uniform rules. So the government needs to have a uniform risk, which is a uniform lie that creates a uniform panic. It's why they never talked about obesity and other metrics of bad health. They preferred you scared. Screw them. Remember, it wasn't you or me who made the virus and let it out. It was them. If it were you, you'd be receiving your dinner through a slot in your cell door for the rest of your damn life. But the people who thought it was fine to increase lethality and contagiousness of coronaviruses in Wuhan are now lecturing us about risk. It's nuts. Let's hear it from Brett.
January 27th, Fauci is told the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases has been indirectly funding the Wuhan lab through EcoHealth Alliance, a U.S.-based scientific nonprofit that had been working with novel coronaviruses. January 31st, Dr. Christian Anderson, a noted virologist at the Scripps lab, privately tells Fauci that after discussions with his colleagues, some of COVID-19's features potentially look engineered and, quote, the genome is inconsistent with expectations from evolutionary theory.
So, when will they be held accountable? I predict it'll happen when Kat beats Tyrus in arm wrestling. And now they talk about a new variant of Omicron.
We could have another variant arise in the future that looks more like Omicron than previous variants.
There you go. It's the war without end framework. And so as one variant leaves, another one shows up. As one battle fades, return with a new one. It's COVID. It was also in climate change. It's also in racism. You'll keep paying for an emergency that never ends. And we've seen how wars with no end game end up going on forever. Vietnam, Afghanistan, the drug war, Sex in the City. The only way to stop that madness is if you do the stopping. Public sentiment ended those wars, and it's time to do the same thing now. Because it's not me who decides when this ends, it's you. You understand risk, you follow the science. As we close in on February 1st, it's time for some good old-fashioned group civil disobedience. Don't wear the mask. Hell, burn the damn thing. That worked with bras and draft cards in the 1960s. And also the house I burned down because the voices told me to. When someone asks you to remask, say, that's not following the science, and then leave. Go somewhere else. If we all do this together, it ends. Because if you don't do it, no one will, and then we're all screwed, hopefully at the strip club. Yes. Let's welcome tonight's guest. They call his jokes bits because the laughs are so tiny. Writer and comedian Joe DeVito. She talks so fast, her mouth gets shin splints. Outnumbered co-host Emily Campagno. She's the girl of your dreams if you want a blonde Freddy Krueger. Fox News contributor Kat Timpf. And if you're looking for his house, just climb up the beanstalk. My massive sidekick in the NWA World Television Champion, Tyrus. Emily, good to see you.
Good to see you.
You look good in leather.
Thank you.
Not a lot of people can pull off leather. You should see me when I get home, because it's very tight. How do people end this, right? I keep giving this advice, Emily, but I'm not really giving practical advice. I'm saying you guys got to end this, but it's when one person does something and then another person sees that person do something, and then that activity becomes contagious.
Yeah, and I actually think that you did propose the solution in your monologue when you said it's about public sentiment and the public showing up and standing up in the way of civil disobedience in a nonviolent way. So to the mask point, they're in LA, in Los Angeles school district, right? So now they have to wear this certain kind of mask with a nose thing.
Right.
And that means that is indicating the priority there of obviously the teachers union and the schools there. It means that the priority is not on mental health. It's not on the fact that in the last semester alone, they've seen more referrals for mental health, more referrals for disciplinary measures, more violence, student on students, students on teachers than they have in any year combined. And that was just one semester. So those kids have reported feeling 3 out of 4 notions of suicide. They blame social media. They blame the lockdown. There are so many things happening that these kids are in agony, and yet that goes to show what the priority, which is conformity to those specific type of masks. And just like flying on airplanes, all of a sudden it's going to be incumbent on the teachers. Oh, this student doesn't have that, right? And they're going to send them home, and they are totally losing the forest for the trees. If they cared about kids, it would be different. But the point is, if the parents said, no, absolutely not, if there was some kind of actual standing up for themselves, that's the only way this is going to change.
The anti-mask party, Joe. This is like the tea. I can feel it. I actually I can smell the change in the air. Either that or it's cat.
Oh, God. Oh, I know. Who's shocking you went with me there.
Yeah, well, now that it's in the strip clubs, I think it's game over.
Yes.
It's nonsense that wearing... The only time I want to see anything covered up in a strip club is if there's cesarean scars involved.
Oh, God.
Why I really have to stop going on the lunch shift.
Yes.
At the junior varsity. I think what we're seeing here now is people, this is their moment. This is their moment to be a tyrant. This is their moment to freak out, and it's what makes them feel good, is to be able to put the thumb down on somebody. And we're seeing it in schools, and this is really, it's becoming child abuse at this point. Because I can guarantee you, these schools where rich people's kids go, they're not making them wear masks.
Yeah.
We see it when we see the fancy people are out, and the people attending to them are wearing masks and gloves and all that.
Right.
It's terrible, and it's abusive to children because children need to see faces when they're young. They need to have this interaction.
Yes.
That time can't be made up, and if people don't believe me, look up the Romanian orphanages where they raised these children as if they were livestock, and the children were damaged forever. Now, the good news is, not that I know a lot about Romania, but Ceausescu, their dictator, was giving a speech and he was in power one day, and it took one person in back to yell, "Shut up!" And everyone else started yelling, and before you know it, he was executed within 24 hours, and those people were free. So it takes free people to stand up and fight for this.
Yeah, interesting. Do you care to respond to that, or let's talk about the strip club?
Well, yeah, I would like to say there's worse things to catch at a strip club.
That is
like a child.
Yeah. Ask Hunter Biden.
Or another guy I know. But I digress.
Yes.
You know, great point about the masks, but I just, yeah, that's true. You can catch children at a strip club, which I would argue I'll take COVID anytime. But, but I love them. What's frustrating to me is the mask is literally, if you follow the science, it's for you. I feel like we keep repeating ourselves. It doesn't keep you from getting it. It maybe can keep you from maybe spreading some things, but you can't keep the mask on 24/7. You just can't do it. You go on an airplane where, sir, put your mask over your nose, as you know, as you were shamed for it.
Yes, I
was.
was.
If you order a Sprite, you could take it off. So literally, if you have a lollipop in your mouth on an airplane, your mask's off the entire flight, or until, you know, how many licks does it get to a Tootsie Pop? Now it's 147.
Yeah,
you know.
I love
So I mean, it just doesn't make any sense, and it's frustrating, and you see people's frustrating, and it's causing so much division. People are so angry with each other, and their fights are breaking out, and people are attacking each other. We saw that elevator thing from last night. So I think your point is spot on, man. Until everyone just says enough, it's going to continue to be this way, because we're going to have like 17 versions of Omicron.
Yeah, no, it's like battles in a war that they want to stay in a battle. It's like, oh, now we have another battle coming up. It's a battle for this. Yeah, that's what I feel like we're in this weird kind
They're going to run out of names.
Yes, they are going to run out of names.
Repeat it. It's going to be like Omicron 17, COVID-19.
A subvariant.
Yes.
Kat, would you? How do you feel about masking in strip clubs?
I think it, like most things, it should be up to the individual stripper. Like, I think we should allow more in strip clubs.
Yeah.
And most do. It's ridiculous. Doesn't make sense. Just like masking kids out doesn't make sense, especially outside.
Yeah.
Nobody
Crazy.
thinks, but nobody thinks that. Like, there's no way that everybody that's in charge of running the Los Angeles, school district actually thinks that we need to mask kids outside. Pretty sure everybody probably knows that, but they're too afraid to say something, which I guess it's, bad in your own life, but it's even worse when, it's kids' lives, which again, this pandemic has done the impossible. It's made me care about people's kids.
I know. I hate children.
I've never.
Speaking of wires, has not anyone seen that American classic, The Jerk? Do you know what happens when you put wires over your nose? Everyone's going to get cross-eyed.
Oh,
you didn't see that? I mean,
Optigrab.
Yeah, Optigrab, yeah.
See, I didn't, yeah.
Yeah, see?
That's what I learned. I learned something new every day. Can't wait to see the Super Bowl. No one's going to be masked. All right, what?
Oh,
Emily?
I just wanted to
Did
say
you just
that
burp?
at that, no.
Okay.
At that one.
I think she
No,
burped.
I didn't.
Felt like
All right,
it.
yeah.
No, I did not. At that one strip club, Archibald's, they
Yes.
have half-price magnums on Saturday night. I just wanted to say that.
That's amazing.
Are you
I thought they looked
sponsored?
amazing.
That's amazing.
See you there.
Shout out.
I wonder if it is truly Archibald's. We'll have to find out.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.